This is Mark, ang inyong host, at ito ang Rebyuhan ng Bayan, ang official reviewhan nyo ng mga pelikula at TV series.
Today we're gonna review Ratched. It is a 2020 Netflix series based on Ken Kesey's book One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest is the story of McMurphy and other psychological misfits at kung paano nila napagtagumpayan ang pagmamalupit ni Nurse Ratched, ang head nurse ng kanilang mental institution. This is based on the character of Nurse Ratched by Ken Kesey, and it's also a film back in 1975 starring Jack Nicholson. Ngayon sa series naman na ito ay tatakal yung kwento ni Nurse Ratched, yung villain ng storya. It is created by Evan Romansky, developed by Ryan Murphy, and stars Sarah Paulson, Finn Wittrock, Cynthia Nixon, John Briones, Charlie Carver, Julie Davis, at syempre, ang pagbabalik ni Sharon Stone. So it was screenplayed by Ryan Murphy and Evan Romansky. Also screenplayed series like Glee and also American Horror Story. It's also a surprise for me when I saw this series. I thought that One Flies Over the Cuckoo's Nest, which is where the series was based from, is already a complete movie, and it's actually an oddball to see a series that will tackle the story of Nurse Ratched, which is the villain of the story.
My girlfriend made me watch it.
I also give it a try, and now we're here reviewing this. So let's go with the good side. It has a stunning visual and cinematography. The cinematography are crisp, and it has its vibrant 1950s era color. So it's like the saturation was dialed to 11. Really a wonderful film if you'll ask me about the cinematography and also the camera shots. And also the costume design and setting is on point. So I remember series like Man in the High Castle and also Agent Carter. They have this vibrant, energetic 1950s pep. And Sarah Paulson is so perfect for the role. If you watch Sarah Paulson and you know that she'll be a doctor, better watch out kasi things will go to shit. Ano bang storya tungkol saan ba to? Story is about Nurse Ratched, and it's more of an origin story. And this series, pinakita kung paano siya naging nurse and paano siya naging head nurse ng asylum, a Lucia Asylum or Lucia Mental Institution. If you'll watch the One Flies Over the Cuckoo's Nest, Nurse Ratched is the villain of the story. Dictator who runs the place, who runs the mental institution, and by the end, Jack Nicholson wins over her. So I will not spoil the movie for you. You should watch it. It's a good film. In the part of the screenplay, Ryan Murphy, the director and the writer, and also one of the executive producer of the series, like what I've said, it's a kind of an oddball for me because for me, One Flies Over the Cuckoo's Nest story is a complete one. He decided to take Nurse Ratched's story and give it to the public. The series has 8 episodes, so I watched all of them, and I think they'll also planning to order more episodes because the series was left on a cliffhanger. Of course, if there's a good side, there's also a bad side, unfortunately. So I will not spoil the full series for you, so you can still watch it on Netflix. It is still available. This, and you have not watched the series yet, please do it now. Okay, we're good. Themes are homosexuality. Back in the 1900s, homosexuality and also other things like nostalgia and melancholia are still considered sickness. Yep, it's a real thing. Back in the day, it's considered sickness. Google that up. Sarah Paulson, or Nurse Ratched, is a lesbian, and the themes of homosexuality are tackled but not completely. So the series wants us to understand Nurse Ratched as a lesbian, but sadly, the series stopped there. So, hindi na siya natalakay at hindi na pa siya na-open up sa story convention na parang late na rin nila nailagay.
There's this scene where Nurse Ratched and her other female friend ate an oyster, so it's not very subtle, and you know, and I know what is the meaning of that. So things like that.
The body horror angle was not explored. It's also kind of pilit. Spoiler alert, there's one scene starring the very talented John Briones, which is also a Phil M. He also starred on theater plays like Miss Saigon. So Jojo Briones has a role here. He's Dr. Banyaga. Dr. Banyaga is a character with two identities. So meron siyang isang kinamot na bata at nagkaroon na severed limbs at ng severed arms. So hindi ko na i-spoil yun. You can watch it. So there's this body horror angle, but it kind of pilit para sa akin. There is a scare factor somehow, but itong way parang patay nakarating sa storya niyon, it's not that consistent actually. So para sa akin, pilit siya.
Maybe I do not care about this character at all. That's why. Unlikable yung character. No offense sa actor. I'm just talking about the character. So the body horror angle for me was not that very effective.
Not quite sure how I will connect the movie, the One Flies Over the Cuckoo's Nest, to this series. So Sarah Paulson here was shown as this dedicated nurse who wants the good well-being of his patient, which is an irony on the nurse Ratched that we have in the books and the movie. So I'm not sure if papakita siya sa next seasons kasi parang hindi siya isang character. So from scale 1 to 10, bibigyan natin ang Ratched ng 5. It is a good try to connect and to enlarge the story of Nurse Ratched from the book and from the movie. Sadly, it fails to deliver on that. So maybe on next season, they'll learn their lesson. We don't know, and we should wait. At salamat nga pala sa pakinig sa Review ng Bayan. Again, kung nagustuhan mong review to, click like, subscribe, and comment na sa channel ko. Palaki natin itong channel to at mag-review pa tayo ng mga pelikula and TV series sa mga susunod na panahon. Again, this is Mark, Review ng Bayan.